There's a good chance that you will have heard of the business models I talked about in the last few videos before. If you're already an internet marketer or an entrepreneur, there's a chance you're already selling affiliate products or that you're already reselling. And so far, it's taking more work to get things up and running than you're actually earning for all your effort. In that case, it's time to have a rethink about how you're going to accelerate your business and help it to actually thrive. There are several tricks you can employ to make your business self sustaining and to help it generate genuine income. It's all about understanding what makes things sell and understanding how to get traffic to your site. Regardless of which of the previously discussed methods you're using to sell products, this video is going to show you how to turn your model into something that will generate an impressive income with very little work on your part. Now, the first thing you need to do is to create a sales page. A sales page is essentially a single web page that has a singular purpose: selling one product to your audience. The idea is simple: choose your product, build a sales page, send people to your sales page. That's it. Each time someone buys from your sales page, that's called a conversion. Your conversion rate tells you what percentage of people who visit your page actually buy. The aim of a sales page is simply to maximize your conversion rate. I know someone who once found a book they liked online. They set up an affiliate account, made a Facebook ad promoting their sales page, and then made a ton of passive income. They made several $1,000s and all from creating one page. Now that's real passive income. But creating an effective sales page is incredibly important here. The key is to make sure that your audience is quickly engaged, doesn't leave to go anywhere else, and is completely convinced by the time that they've read through all your copy. There are several different strategies you can employ to achieve all these effects. The design of your sales page should be such that there are no distractions. That means no links to other pages on your site and certainly no advertising or links to other sites. It should be long and narrow so that all the user can do is scroll down the page and commit stroke engage further and further with your content. But it's also highly important that you design your site to look professional. This is important because you need to build trust. People often feel reluctant to buy from unknown brands online because they worry the brand won't deliver the product or that their transaction will be lost in the clouds. Make sure you inspire their confidence and make an impulse buy easy by designing your sales page to be clean, crisp, and professional looking. The best way to accomplish that? Use a pre existing landing tool. The best example is to use Optimize Press, which is a WordPress plugin stroke theme that will make your site look like a professional sales page and include your transaction button. And you can find out more at optimizepress.com, and they have a video on the sales page that explains how it all works. Note that all our websites and pages recommended in this video series are going to be built with WordPress. WordPress simply makes it much easier to create websites that look professional. It's been tried and tested by millions of successful websites and brands throughout the world and is generally known for its adaptability and its large number of different add ons, plugins, and features. It's also very important that you make your transactions as simple as possible. Letting people check out with PayPal is a great way to do this, for example, because it will allow them to buy from you without having to input their card details or sign up for a new account. You want to make it as simple and easy as possible for them to click and buy and get your products. Just as important, if not more so, is your sales copy. This needs to be written in such a way as to compel the reader to want to buy and to build desire and urgency. The first challenge is going to be getting your visitors to read past the first line. People are always in a hurry on the web and they don't have time to sit and read a long passage of text that they know is just trying to sell them something. Start strong and get their attention right away. Do this by using a question directed at the user that will make them think, or by using a narrative structure to make your copy sound like a story. We're naturally inclined to listen to stories, and it's very hard to cut a story off midway because we always want to know how they're going to end. It's also important to space your content out a lot and to make it easier to skim read. Use descriptive headings. Throughout the text, your aim is to sell the value proposition. This means understanding the psychological draw of exactly why someone might want to buy your product and what it is about your product that they will want. This comes down to understanding how your product will affect their lives. For example, a fitness ebook will make someone fitter and healthier, therefore also making them sexier, more confident, and more athletic. The same goes for a pull up bar. Meanwhile, a book on making money or some kind of financial investment can help someone to reduce stress by making them free of debt, or to feel more powerful and financially stable and to chase their dreams. Men might think that earning money will make them more successful with women. Dating books or a dating site membership will improve someone's sex life or help them find love. It all depends on the site or book or audience that you're aiming at. Make that the focus of your product description and get your audience ready to visualize what you can do for them and how you're going to improve their lives. Meanwhile, try to describe the feel of the product and how beautifully designed it is. Get them to imagine it being part of their lives and to imagine holding it. The aim is to build up that sense of desire. And from there, you're then going to create urgency and scarcity. This means you're going to make out that your product is in low supply, that you're going to introduce a limited time offer, or you're going to find another way to encourage the person reading to buy now. Try to understand that people make purchases impulsively. We mostly buy things we don't need on an emotional basis, not a logical one. So, if your visitor has time to go away and think about it, they will probably not buy, and you probably will lose your customer. Likewise, you also need to think about reducing the apparent risk. Promise a 100% money back guarantee and talk about how easy and quickly your product arrives. Show social proof by including reviews from other customers. By making your product highly desirable, painting a picture, and then making the reader act quickly, you can trigger a ton of impulse buys and increase your conversion rate significantly, especially if buying is easy and your site looks professional. Of course, you shouldn't oversell something like a mug with a funny picture. Bigger ticket items equals large sales pages. For smaller items that are easier impulse buys, you can use an e-commerce store to the same effect. You know what though? It's really not your sales page or your persuasive powers that will have the best chance of securing you your sales. What is actually much more important is selecting the right product to begin with and then promoting it to the right people. The first tip is to choose a niche that you know and love. This is important because it will mean you understand it much better, you understand how to sell it, and you don't mind spending time writing about it or writing sales copy. The next tip is to think about the niche and the size of that niche very carefully. Don't make the mistake of aiming for a niche with too much broad appeal, or you'll drastically increase the competition and make life very difficult for yourself. PPC ads will charge you more depending on how many other advertisers are after the same search terms as you. That means you can end up spending a huge amount of money to bid for a term like make money online or fitness equipment. You'll be going up against the likes of Amazon, and they spend over $1 million a day on AdWords alone. Better then to aim for a smaller niche while still thinking about whether you have a strong product with a good route to market. One of the best ways to do this is to take your niche and then narrow it down further into a smaller subset. For example, you can create a highly successful niche by taking fitness and then aiming it at a smaller subsection, such as the over 80s, teenagers, women, or better yet, diabetes, martial arts, students, or karate. Now you have a much narrower target audience, and you can use tools like Facebook to target that precise group specifically. Now pick a product that solves a very specific problem for that very specific niche and market the heck out of it. You can do this especially well if you can find a new audience for an existing product. For example, a folding bench press is ideal for students who have a small amount of space in their home. Now, you can take that product, write a sales page aimed at students looking to get into great shape, and then advertise in places where students go. The most powerful strategy of all? Well, think about the influence you already have and the routes to market that you already have. A route to market is any direct access that you have to the audience you want to sell from. For example, if you happen to be best friends with the editor of Gardener's World, then selling a gardening product is an ideal option. You already have a means to reach thousands of gardeners. Why create more work for yourself when that opportunity exists? Just find a great product and ask your friend to promote your affiliate link. Or maybe you're already a very big name in a popular forum. Then simply find an affiliate link for a product you think those people will like and share it on the forum. You can even be upfront about the fact that you'll make money. In fact, I would advise it. But this incredibly simple strategy can make you a lot of money very quickly. Now your business model is set up and you have a great product and a great landing page that will help to sell it. This should maximize your conversions, meaning all that's left to do is actually send people to your page, and this is where marketing comes in. Good marketing means knowing exactly who you're marketing to, which is why choosing the niche is so important. You want to go much further than simply identifying your ideal target audience, though. You also want to profile them. Psychology is so important when it comes to selling, and this is what will allow you to avoid working hard by working smart. Your buyer persona is a personality outline of the people you're selling to. This will look at where they spend their time, how much disposable income they have, and even what their hobbies and interests are. This in turn will allow you to get inside their head and sell them in an even better manner. It also pays to understand some of the natural driving forces behind all of us. For example, keep in mind that people often buy products as a form of self expression. That is to say, that we love to express ourselves and often buy things because they say something about us. Yep, think about it. You probably have a ton of old DVDs, and many of them you only bought because they resonated with you and you wanted to show them off in your collection to illustrate that fact. This is how you can sell your products too, by making things that are specifically aimed at one person. If you're selling a t shirt with a joke on it, make it a joke that will resonate with a particular type of person or let them show off some aspect of their personality. This is what will make them want it. And it also works because it's what will allow a product you sell to be a quote perfect gift for someone. You want people to look at it and go, "Oh, that's so John," or whoever. Understanding the psychology of your buyer and tapping into the driving forces that makes them buy is the single most important way to make a passive income model work. With your target demographic identified, you can then set up an advertising strategy to send people to your site where they can buy your product. We're choosing PPC advertising because it's a form of advertising that will allow you to set everything up and then lean back and let the cash roll in. When it comes to PPC advertising options, there are two big players. One is Google AdWords and the other is Facebook ads. Google AdWords allow you to pay for your ads to appear on the SERPs, that's the search engine results pages, for particular items. This means you can make sure that your foldable weights bench comes up for the term foldable weights bench or workout without space. Whatever the case, this works well because it allows you to target people who are actively looking for products like yours. You're getting people who want your product and who are in the process of looking to buy it. For our completely passive form of income, though, we're going to look at Facebook ads in particular. Why? because these allow for much more precision when targeting specific people. Facebook ads will allow you to target your ads to people who fall into a very specific demographics based on the information they added to the site. That means you can target people by their age, their sex, their location, their relationship status, their likelihood of owning a property. Facebook also deduces a lot of information, their weight, their hobbies, their interests, and more. And you can also filter your ads to exclude certain people. So, if you're selling a folding weights bench for students through Amazon or a drop shipper, you can now sell that weight bench to male students who don't own a property, who are interested in fitness, who are single, and don't weigh very much. Could there be a better demographic for your bench? And because you know they're single, you can choose to market your products in a way that really emphasizes the sex appeal that a big, strong chest gives you. Or how about selling a t shirt with a funny joke about being self employed to people who are self employed? It's so easy this way to match your product directly with your target audience. Or how about if you're selling wedding decorations? Selling them to women who are engaged and have shown an interest in the style of decor that your terms fit into, such as shabby chic. You can infer someone's likelihood of enjoying shabby chic by looking at their favorite brands and books, even. So, better yet is the fact that you can also set the budget perfectly to avoid spending more than you're earning. Remember, with any PPC advertising setup, be it Facebook ads or Google AdWords, you're only going to pay when someone actually clicks on your ad. So, if your ad isn't working and isn't attracting clicks, you don't lose anything. And because you're only showing your ads to people likely to want your product, and you're going to use a very upfront explanation of what the product is in your ad, you can ensure that people won't click on the ad unless they're likely to want to buy from you. And in that way, you can enjoy a very positive conversion rate for that audience. Better yet, you can also calculate your budget and your spend perfectly to ensure this. You choose what your maximum bid for your ad clicks is going to be, and that means you can choose how much you're willing to pay for your visitors. This means you can look at how many visitors you get in a month and how many sales you make in a month. What you do then is divide the profit by the number of visitors to work out the average value that each of your visitors is worth to you. So, if you have 100 visitors a day and you make one sale of a $100 profit product, that means your average visitor is worth $1 to you. And by doing this, you can now make sure you're paying less than $1 for each click, and it means you should make measurable, predictable profits from every single click. Facebook even allows you to go further by using CPA advertising, where you only pay if somebody actually redeems a special offer. This is a foolproof passive income, and the worst case scenario is that you spend no money and earn no money, in which case you simply tweak the ad and hone the various factors until you find the sweet spot. Those last few videos have given you an insight to what are some of the most popular methods of generating passive income. Of course, many people will also create a blog to help back up their products and to strengthen their brand, but you don't even need to do that. Just a landing page, an affiliate link, and the right advertising campaign will do. But what if you don't want to sell a product at all? Can you make a completely passive income from a website or a blog alone? The answer is yes and no. Over time, if you build a website up to be big enough and provide a huge amount of free information, if you can rank at the top of Google, and if you can build an active community, then in theory, you can get a massive flow of traffic that will be self sustaining for several years, even without you having to have any consistent input. If you then place advertising on this site, you can potentially earn up to a few $100s daily and profit. But this will take a lot of time and a lot of luck. Therefore, most of the best ways to make money from a blog are going to involve regular input on your behalf, which will mean writing new blog posts and running a social media page. One way to get around this is to find a writer, or several, and pay them to write content for your site. Make sure it's good though. Another way to get around this is to buy a website that already comes with a big audience and a big community, plus plenty of content. To get this, you're going to have to spend a large amount of money, but this can be a good investment if you can make that upfront expense. Browse marketing forums and webmaster forums where you'll be able to find people selling sites, and try contacting big sites directly. A good strategy is to contact people who have a massive audience but haven't maximized their earning potential yet with ads and affiliate links. It's likely that they're not going to know just how valuable their site is just yet, and that means they might accept a good deal. Another strategy is to use insider information and to target a website that's in a niche you think is about to become more in demand. In other words, if you have a tip off that a big brand is about to take the world by storm, and you can buy a website about that brand before it happens, you can stand to profit in a big way. If you can buy a website that is already getting a lot of visits, then theoretically you can simply add some adverts to it or some affiliate links and start profiting immediately. That said, there's nothing wrong with running a blog the old fashioned way. This might involve a little more effort than a truly passive income model, but it's still passive in as much as you aren't trading time for money. And if it's a subject you love, then you shouldn't mind writing about it regularly. The key to being successful with this kind of business is again to get inside the heads of your visitors and to offer something really different. That means creating a brand that once again will appeal to a very specific type of person rather than trying to appeal to everyone possible. You need to think about branding your site so that people will instantly know what your site is all about and whether it is for them. And you also need to be very consistent in delivering quality content that's going to offer something a bit different from the competition. Don't think you can make a lot of money by populating a generic site with generic content like how to get a six pack in 500 words. If you want to be the next Tim Ferriss, you need to write about things which sound exciting and which no one has read before. That might mean a new training technique, or it might mean a challenging intellectual expose on a particular aspect of training. It means writing in a way that is entertaining and engaging, and it means writing in a way that is in depth and provides links to useful resources. Then it means building up that brand on social media, getting follows, and getting people to repost and reshare. It means being consistently brilliant and on point, and having a clear mission statement that lets people feel like they're part of a movement just by following you. Again, it's about their identity and knowing the psychology of your audience. But meanwhile, there are also a number of useful growth hacks you can use to get surges of hits for your site. One is to write a post that will be particularly irresistible for a certain audience, and then finding a route to market again. In this case, it might perhaps mean a community on Google Plus or Facebook. Post there, and if you're fortunate, this can lead to hundreds of thousands of hits overnight. Better yet is influencer marketing. And this means finding a big influencer in the niche and getting them to promote your site. Of course, that means you need to offer something else in return, whether that means you also link to them or it means you provide them with free content. To be successful with this, the best strategy is to start with those smaller influencers that are around your level and then slowly climb the ladder. Each time you get a shout out from one of them, you'll gain more new followers and you'll be able to approach someone even bigger next time. The best way to get influencer marketing and make big money from a blog quickly? Well, network in person with someone who happens to own a massive website. It's not easy, but it is possible. There are other ways you can earn even more truly passive income from a website too, if you so wish. One is to use a subscription model. Now, there are plenty of WordPress plugins that will allow you to do this easily and completely for free. If your content is compelling enough, you might find people are willing to sign up, creating a recurring income that is much more stable and reliable than you may get from ads. Even donations can work as a business model. Or what about having a paywall for your very best content? This works particularly well for those static websites that act like large repositories for information. And that kind of business model is most effective when you target a niche that relies on lots of information. Targeting specific careers and industries can work very well, for example, as can providing a resource for people studying a particular topic. Another option is to create an SAS, or software as a service. This might mean making an online calculator, a tool that organizes people by providing to do lists, a CMS, or a dating website. Then you charge for membership. This will require a little coding skill, but you can either handle that yourself or outsource it to a coder through a site like Upwork or freelancer.com, as long as you have the good quality idea to begin with. Now, a quick but very important tip. Not every idea needs to be unique to be very profitable. Sometimes it's best to copy what's working for someone else.